Today's video is all about the wonders of technology and what you can accomplish in humble rooms like the one I'm sitting in here, especially if you're recording things like acoustic guitar or your vocals, because your room is going to influence the sound of your recording, regardless if you're using, room removers, ambience removers after the fact, which are great, but there's still something that happens when you remove the ambience, you remove the depth, you remove a bit of that naturalness to your recording, and that can be supplemented with reverbs and those types of things. But when you're recording an acoustic instrument like this, the room tone really does add to the recording. If you've ever recorded in a professional recording studio, you've probably noticed that there's just like a smoothness to it. There's some depth to it that you're just not getting from your home. If you've never recorded in a professional recording studio, well, then you want to watch this video because there's ways to get that sound with software, and that's what we're talking about today. Now, the software I'm going to be talking about is not new. It has been around for a long time. Unfortunately, you do need hardware to run it, and that is going to be the Universal Audio Ocean Way Studios. Now, I've had this plugin for a long time, and normally I would just use it for drum rooms and all that kind of stuff. But I was recording a acoustic version of my upcoming single at the beginning of June, and I was just feeling like there was just a flatness happening to the recording, and I ended up pulling up that plugin and realizing that it's more than just a room plugin. There's like a secret sauce in there that I discovered. Now, I'm probably late to the game, but I want to show it with you and let you know that it's available to help add depth and ambience and just a feeling to your acoustic tracks. Now, before I jump into this, I do know that yes, Ocean Way Studios, you need Universal Audio hardware to run it. It's not a native plugin. I'm hoping it'll be a native plugin here soon enough. But you may also be thinking, well, Universal Audio has another plugin, Sound City Studios. Doesn't that kind of do the same thing? Well, it does, but it also doesn't for this application. I'm going to jump into that when we go into the session and take a listen to what I did and how it affected my recordings. In this room right here, this is where I recorded guitar and my vocals. So we're going to hear that in just a second. Now, before we jump into this session here, I just want to let you know that I do think editing is one of the most important skills that you can learn as a home music producer. The best thing about editing is that it is very black and white. There's kind of like a good way to do it and a bad way to do it. But if you want to learn about the black and white and the nuances and how to edit and to make your tracks professional, then go in the link in the description below, songproductionpros.com, and take a look at some of the available resources I have for you. All right, let's jump into this track. So here's my track at the beginning of June. Very simple. I have an acoustic track, a vocal track. And here are my Ocean Way Studios plugins on the tracks themselves. And we're just going to jump in and take a listen to what they're doing to the sound and how these little subtle things really make a big difference in the way the song feels. It may not necessarily be totally audible, depending on what system you're listening to, but really feel it. Like when I go in and out, just notice how it feels. We're going to start with just the acoustic guitar. The acoustic guitar sounds like this, and I'll take out the Ocean Way to begin with. Okay, so it doesn't sound bad, but now with Ocean Way in, what I have here is I have all of the mics in. So I have a close mic, which I have at about 0.6 feet, which is the magic of this plugin, that you can get the mic to be so close that it's a close mic instead of just a room mic. And then I have the room mics in there as well. So let's take a listen. It's just amazing that you can do this with technology. And I can't believe I slept on this plugin for so long when it comes to this use case. I'm not doing a whole lot of acoustic tracks like this, probably why it slipped my mind, but now that I discovered this, I might be doing a lot more because it's just so nice. I mean, what I'm hearing here, if you're listening, yes, there's like a weird honky kind of mid-range ambience. That gets removed with the plugin. But I'm also hearing just, it feels less claustrophobic. The acoustic track that I recorded, it just feels like everything's kind of choking, very two-dimensional. And once I put in the Ocean Way Studios, it really opens up those bass notes, the transients breathe more. It doesn't feel like they're being like pushed back, like compressed. And so it just feels more open. It feels more natural, like you're actually sitting in the room listening to the acoustic guitar. Now, if we move to the vocals, this was really exciting for me because I'm okay with recording vocals and removing noise and all that and just putting some reverb on it, and it sounds good. But I was thinking, okay, if I'm really trying to get that acoustic and the vocals to sit together in the room, because I did track these separately, I need to be able to put them in the same space. So Ocean Way Studios. And this is, again, using the full remic mode. I just kind of flip through the different microphones you can choose from, just kind of see what fits and sounds good. But really that magic comes in the fact that I can make the distance of this really close, like where basically the same distance that I recorded my actual vocals from. So when I replace the microphone, I'm not getting any weird distance changes. And then I can add in additional rooms to create more ambience. So let's just take a listen to what this sounds like.
Breathe you in, my fluttering butterfly of oxygen. In summer's lungs will breathe you in, my fluttering butterfly of oxygen. You'll get wrapped up in that.
So like with this, it's like setting the vocal back a bit. When I take it out, the vocal is like right in your face, very dry, very two-dimensional. And when I pop this in, it's almost like air comes in front of the vocal itself, which is very reminiscent of singing in a room. And it's just nice. It's beautiful. And then when you add the two together, it just adds that extra dimension that makes it feel like you're really performing in a high quality room when really you're recording in just your normal bedroom or whatever. So magic plugin.
In summer's lungs will breathe you in, my fluttering butterfly of oxygen. You'll get wrapped up in that. In summer's lungs will breathe you in, my fluttering butterfly of oxygen. You'll get wrapped up.
It just adds the air. It makes it feel a lot less claustrophobic. It breathes more. It just feels better. Again, this is a subtle thing. I have a lot of other plugins going on here to help with the sound of the track, but this right here is just like, if you're just feeling like it's just not feeling right, it feels splatty, maybe there's things poking out that just feel like it just doesn't breathe, it's probably a lot to do with the recording environment. And this plugin does an amazing job at adding in that ambience that you are missing, and it's putting you into one of the best studios in the world. So let's hear it with the reverb in now too, and I'll take in and out the Ocean Way Studios. It might be a little less obvious when the reverb's in because you'll get the wash of the reverb, but let's check it out.
In summer's lungs will breathe you in, my fluttering butterfly of oxygen. You'll get wrapped up in that. In summer's lungs will breathe you in, my fluttering butterfly of oxygen.
Now I know what some of you might be thinking is that Universal Audio has another plugin, Sound City Studios, which is native, and you don't need Universal Audio hardware to use it. But there's a challenge with the Sound City Studios, is that the distance, I can't get it to be close mic'd like I can on Ocean Way. Now, there might be some versions in here that allow me to get closer. Let's find out. This is a fixed one. This might be close mic'd. You know what? Let's take a listen to it.
In summer's lungs.
Well, that didn't sound right because it's going through the amp. That's why. So yeah, so we have an issue here with the the Sound City Studio is that I can't get that close mic vibe. So this really works as a room emulator, not so much like, hey, let me take my close mic recording, remic it, still get the close mic vibe, but then add in ambience in the background. So that's one issue with the Sound City Studios that you just can't do. So this video really is just to kind of show you one of my current favorite Universal Audio plugins, one that I'm just like, yep, can't live without it, still need the hardware. I do hope that they make this a native plugin one of these days, so that way you all can use it if you don't have the hardware, but it is a case still for Universal Audio hardware. It is a bummer that you can't just run this natively. It does take a lot of DSP too, so it'd be nice to have it on native just to free up DSP. But I wanted to show you this just because I think that we sometimes get into this mindset where it's like we just keep layering plugin on plugin, trying to fix problems, and it may just be as simple as going back to the source, like our recordings. Like, yes, I'm a proponent of editing and making things sound good after the fact, and you don't need a lot to make a good recording, but the source of your recording does matter. And if you think about the components of the source of your recording itself, you have your microphone, your interface, your room, and if one of those is lacking, then you are going to do more on the back end to make it sound better. And I would say your room and your microphone are two most important things. And then your interface with its preamps do make a difference. But if you have a good microphone and a good room, that'll take you a long way. You have to do less editing on the back end. And then Ocean Way Studios just makes it so easy to not to worry about the room it's so much, because you can go in and add this in and get that really beautiful ambience. Just wanted to throw this video out there. It's something that I discovered this past week while I was working on this song. I just wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're using Ocean Way Studios, if there's another plugin that you found kind of does a similar thing, maybe it's native, love to hear it. Join in the conversation. Again, my name is Brad Johnson, Song Production Pros. I hope you have a good day.